So for how justified true belief works is belief, you have to believe that there is a dog outside the window. Then for it to be true, there has to be a dog outside the window. And justification, you have to see the dog outside the window. That justifies your belief. Does that make sense? That is a justified true belief. That is a true quote unquote statement. For example, if you say there's probably a dog outside the window and there is a dog outside the window, you believed it, and it happened to be true, but you don't have justification for that because you didn't see that. Knowledge isn't just believing that something could be true. You should have justification for why you believe that. And when it comes to Christianity, a lot of people get frustrated with Christians because they think that we just believe, but we don't have good justification. And that is why it is so important for us Christians to have justification to our argument, to our faith. That's why we should have these logical reasoning tools so that when people question us, we have a logical way of responding to them. And what I see happen a lot in not only my comments, but in other comments is there's always the person that's going to be like, they're going to break the rules of logic to try to make an argument, and that argument falls flat on its butt because they're not using proper logic techniques. Like, for example, if you say dogs have 4 legs and somebody says, well, my neighbor's dog only has 3 legs, he lost a leg. That's not a logical argument. Just because your dog's neighbor has 3 legs and that is a true statement does not mean that that fits the general claim of dogs have 4 legs. Does that make sense? It doesn't mean, oh, well, my neighbor's dog has 3 legs, therefore all dogs have 3 legs. That's not how it works. So we need to be careful not to straw man arguments. It just doesn't make for a good argument in general. It makes you look like you lack intelligence and you lack general reasoning. For example, if I say, I don't like it when kids have technology, it can hurt their brain. And then somebody goes, so kids should never have technology ever? You're saying that all kids will die? Like it doesn't follow P, like Q doesn't follow P. So anyways, if you're going to argue, that is completely fine with me. I love debates. I love watching them. I like engaging them. I think they're really interesting. It helps me grow. It helps other people grow. But let's do it in a way that makes sense and actually gets us closer to the truth rather than somebody just trying to be right about everything.